UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has announced more crackdown on Islamist protesters as they consciously abuse the British people and mock them under the canopy of peaceful protest. During the rally today, a Palestinian teacher raised her placard depicting the faces of Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and Suella Braverman, the former Home Secretary, alongside coconuts under a tree on a beach, claiming it's their culture and sees nothing wrong in it when interviewed by the UK police. What does that mean? Isn't that mockery of the Prime Minister and other British citizen? And they claim it's their culture. What culture? It's really getting out of hand, and the British government needs to take more legal action to stop the public abuse from the Islamist. In today's video, I will tell you what happened about the mockery of the Prime Minister Sunak and everything about this issue of cracking down on Islamist protesters. But before we begin, if you've not already, subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to always be notified when we publish new updates. Now, pay close attention. 37-year-old teacher Mariha Hussein joined thousands of pro-Palestine protesters in London to call for an end to Israel's war in Gaza. During the rally, she raised her placard depicting the faces of Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and Suella Braverman, the former Home Secretary, alongside coconuts under a tree on a beach. Her message was clear, especially to Britons who have grown up in ethnic minority communities where the word is sometimes used. Coconut is a divisive term which, as it is brown outside and white inside, suggests a black or brown individual is akin to a traitor who has betrayed their heritage by indulging white opinion. Some find it racist and offensive, while others believe it can be used in the spirit of free speech as a valid, albeit pejorative, critique. At the time, Braverman, a prominent right-wing figure, had described pro-Palestine demonstrations in the UK as hate marches. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak called the march disrespectful. Days later, the Metropolitan Police posted a photograph of Hussein and her placard to X on its official account, announcing she was being sought in relation to a hate crime. The post went viral. She has now been charged with a racially aggravated public order offence and is due in court next month, Al Jazeera can exclusively reveal. A Metropolitan Police spokesperson confirmed the charge and said Hussein had been informed by post. Hussein said, "I had no idea that our word, coconut, would be hijacked by a demographic that doesn't use these words and then used against me to criminalize me," Hussein told Al Jazeera in an interview before she was charged. Being a woman of color and a Muslim coupled with my deep criticism of our government aiding and abetting a genocide against the Palestinian people, these factors combined have made me the perfect scapegoat for far-right ideologies. I was under the belief, and still am, that I have full ownership of that word, as each culture has their own language used to hold to account people of ethnic origins who use their positions of power to push white supremacy ideals, narratives and policies. You can just imagine what she said here, and she says she is a victim. Victim of crime and mockery. According to the Metropolitan Police, hate can be considered a crime if it is motivated by hostility or prejudice based on race, sexual orientation, disability, or transgenderism. The definition emphasizes that someone does not need to personally perceive the incident for it to be seen as hate-related. Until the recent fallout, many seemed unaware that the use of coconut is considered a hate crime. Not all public uses of the word have led to prosecution. Now, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has announced a crackdown on all these Islamist protesters, and most of them will be taken to court and most of their visas will be cancelled. This is what he said.
Since the October 7th attacks in Israel, we've seen protests across our country almost every weekend. Many of these have been respectful, but there have also been far too many appalling examples of anti-Semitism, violent intimidation, and the glorification of terrorism. This must not stand. I've asked the police what powers they need to bring order to our streets. As a result, today, we are setting out measures that will ban fireworks and flares that intimidate communities and have put our police officers in hospital. Stop people from being able to climb on our sacred war memorials, and stop people from covering their faces to conceal their identity and evade arrest. Those who abuse their freedom to protest undermine public safety and our democratic values, and I will give police the powers they need to crack down on this intimidating and appalling behavior.
So the Prime Minister is now cracking down on all these Islamic protests, as they are causing more trouble in Britain. In my own opinion, people should not come from other countries to disrupt the peace of British people in their country. Some of these Islamists go as far as destroying the cross in some Christian churches, attacking the British police and much more. This is really unacceptable, and the UK government needs to act before it gets out of hand. We hope this information was helpful to you all. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification